In the starting point photography segment, I got a review of a very interesting little gadget. It's called the Universal Lens Cap from the folks at KUVRDcamera.com. KUVRD camera.com. Awful name. The KUVRD thing is not obviously, but KUVRDcamera.com is the website. KUVRD. And it's simplicity itself. It's just a piece of rubber, soft rubber. You know, it's that small. It can be deformed and pop into shape. So it's a lens cap for your lenses. One of the problems that I personally have always had with the usual plastic lens cap is I lose these goddamn things on a regular basis. I put them down and walk away from them like I do so many other things. I will hand them to someone else and forget to get them back. They will fall out of bags. They will fall off the lens because very few cameras I've used does the lens cap fit on really, really well. I've got my beloved Nikon D600, and even this one, the lens cap is a better one because I have to pinch in the center of it. These Olympus ones, you have to pinch on the outside. The problem with pinching on the outside is all it takes is a bit of a nudge on one of their edges for it to pop off. You don't have to pinch both. The Nikon one for this particular lens is a little better because it's a pinch from the middle. But I've still opened up my camera bag and seen that my lens cap has fallen off because it got hooked on something. So I'm always worried about that. One of the things I always tell people is to get yourself a filter for your lens. It's just a screw. For example, this one is a polarizing filter. Get a circular filter for your lens. And it can be just a neutral filter, just a piece of glass. Because what happens is if you scratch up the lens element, the front element on your lens, you got to buy a new lens. But if you scratch up a filter, all you have to do is buy the new filter. Lens, $700, filter, $30. So I'd rather spend $30 on a scratched up lens than another $700 to $1,000 on a scratched up filter than $700 $900 on a new lens. That being said, I constantly lose these things. For those of you who know me or followed me for a while or followed me on Twitter, know I hate Kickstarters. You know what a Kickstarter is? Hang on, sorry, I didn't turn your microphone on. There you go.
So a company that's just starting out with their idea.
No.
On the
Kickstarter.com is a website.
Oh, yeah, no, I don't know.
That lets people say basically, hey, I've got a really great idea, but I need $10,000.
Okay.
Give me $1. Give me $5. Give me $10. If my idea goes forward, or if I get the $10,000, you get my idea for a discounted price.
Okay.
So, and it can be anything. It can be an album. It can be a movie. It can be a pencil. It can be anything that the inventor can think up, but doesn't have the resources, can't borrow the money from mom, he doesn't have a business behind him yet, those kinds of things. The idea of Kickstarter is really neat. The implementation of Kickstarter is quite often awful, especially for Kickstarters that don't have any experience in the thing they're talking about. So what happens a lot with Kickstarter is this guy has an idea, he creates prototypes of it, because you can create prototypes nowadays with 3D printers for next to nothing. Decides that this is something that's worth inventing, starts a Kickstarter for it, but he's got no business experience, he's got no graphic design experience, he's got no experience in all the other aspects of it. And he says, this will be ready by May 2018. June 2018 comes by, July, August, September. Quite often, a lot of Kickstarters are months and months, if not years behind, or they never happen. And they've taken your money, by the way. Because once the Kickstarter vests, once the date vests and they've made their money, Kickstarter gives them the money. So if they bugger off with the money, you're screwed. You're not getting it back. So I always tell folks, think of a Kickstarter as basically a donation to that guy's project.
Right.
Don't expect to get anything back from it. Hope you will, but try to think of it as it's not going to happen.
Okay.
So that's why I avoid Kickstarters as much as I possibly can, because there are some great ideas out there, but they may not be implemented all that well.
Is that what this is?
This was a Kickstarter. It started off as a Kickstarter. And like I said, I hate Kickstarters. But I went to someone told me about it. I went to the website. I liked the idea of the product.
Yeah.
The company had previous experience with successful Kickstarters, which helped me a lot decide that, yes, I wanted to do this.
Mm-hmm.
And they had a good deal. I think it was $30 and you got 4 of these things.
Okay.
Right now, they're $30 each. That's the other advantage of supporting a Kickstarter, is that when you do, you get hopefully significant discounts on the product when it becomes available. So I got 4 of these for $30. I wasn't expecting a whole lot. I liked the idea. The concept was kind of neat, but I wasn't expecting it to be this good when I got it in my hands. And like I said, it's just a piece of plastic, piece of rubber. It's not as thick as neoprene, but it feels kind of neoprene-ish. It's soft enough and supple enough that you can turn it inside out without any problem. So if you have any issues about cleaning it, it's easy to drop it in soapy water to clean it off. It goes back into shape very easily. But the neat thing about it is that it fits on your lens. Now you have to stretch it over the lens. And here's an example of it on our Melissa's Olympus M1. It fits quite nicely over there. There's a bit of a gap, and it does come off with some pressure, and it goes on very easily. The bigger the lens, the better the grip. So this is me going to put this on this 24-120 lens. So hang on a second. Basically what you do is you stretch it over the lens. So I grab one end, pull it, stretch it down, and then pull it down over the thing. So it took that long to put the lens cap on. And now the lens is protected. But it also is not going to fall off. That is not going to slide off. I'm not able to pull that off. That's not coming off in your bag. It's protected here. The other thing I like about it is there's no grip. They had a chance to put a Grippy Hood logo right there, and they didn't. Thank you for not doing that. Curved cameras. So it stays on real nice. There's not the only negatives about this are the same as the negatives about this. These things can easily get lost. I peeled this off. Slam. I peeled this off from like other lens caps. I'll put it in my pocket. It could come out of my pocket. I could lose it. I could put it on the ground. So that's no different than a traditional lens cap. So I'm not going to knock the Universal Lens Cap for being the exact same as a regular lens cap. You can also put it on over top of your regular lens cap too. It fits perfectly well over top of this lens cap. If you wanted that double protection, if you wanted to use both things, not a problem. I think they're $30 each now. They also work on the back of a lens too. So this is a lens that's covered on both ends by the Universal Lens Cap. I think this is a brilliant idea, and it works really, really well. Again, here's how easy it is to peel that off. And because this end of the barrel is a little narrower, it's just as easy to stretch it over the back of this thing and just pull it down over top of the lens cap that's already there. They do say don't use your fingernails because you don't want to rip this stuff, but it just pops over there, and now both ends of my lens are protected. Love this thing. This is a really, really brilliant little idea.
Lesh is asking, and I haven't noticed if it attracts cat hair, which is a good question. We have 2 cats, and I haven't noticed that it's attracted dust.
That is a good question. It is that kind of material. I'm sure there's going to be some staticness to this, but I think because of you touching it on a regular basis, that would release the static electricity from it. But this has been sitting on my desk now for a week or a couple of weeks since we got it, and it's a little dusty, but nothing you can't just wipe off. Not on the inside. There's nothing on the inside. Just the usual dust that you get from the usual apartment type stuff. And again, just dropping this into the soapy water would be fine, but it doesn't seem to attract cat hair, even though there's a cat that walks across this desk on a daily basis. So that's a good question.
Yeah.
So if you get a chance, check them out. Again, their website is an awful name, KUVRD camera.com, and it's a universal lens cap. The neat thing is it fits on any number of lenses. The only issue, and this was an interesting one, is if you have a fisheye lens, it might not work as well with a fisheye lens because fisheye lenses protrude out from the barrel of the body of the camera. So you might have an effect where the lens itself is sticking up here. So it might not work as well with regards to that. So you
and
might have to.
Macman thinks it might be problematic if you want to take a quick shot, but I don't think so. To me, the other lens caps are problematic for that too.
Yeah,
Well,
but
you
I
want
think
to do a quick shot because you've got to have that dexterity. Because I get cold hands, that's why I
Yes.
think, and I need that dexterity. Whereas this, I didn't need it.
I think the issue with the quick shot thing is that happens if you are a forgetful photographer anyway. That you've already forgotten to take your lens cap off. For me, the first thing I do when I take my camera out of my bag is take the lens cap off because I want to shoot with it. So I strip it off and I drop it in the bag or put it in my pocket or whatever. Wandering microphone. Whatever it might be. So yeah, that might be an issue if you found that you've had that happen to you in the past. Just grab your cable from there and stretch it.
Well, in Australia, I mean, I would, because following Sean, I would take the lens caps and I would put them either in the front of the backpack or in my pocket or somewhere to think, okay, the lens cap has been put away. But if I had dropped that lens cap in the sand, it would have that wouldn't have been an issue.
Yeah, one of the issues, and this has happened with these lens caps, you drop them in the sand gets
Just
in those little
covers it.
grooves in there, and you put the lens cap on, you can hear it grinding away.
Yeah, it's not
whereas that
such
would not
simple
happen
lines.
with this one.
The only thing, and I love it, you can scrunch it up
Yeah.
and like stick it in anywhere. Yeah, I like
That's what
that.
she said.
But my one thing that I would suggest to them is make them a brighter color. 'Cause
Sure,
I
yeah.
would like that. I would like to be able to go, there it is in the bottom of my backpack, or the black kind of blends in.
Yeah, most people have black camera bodies, and camera lenses, so that's why they're going with black.
I know.
But yeah,
just a
red would be
thought I
kind of
had.
cool. Blue, whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, that might be in their plan, but that is, as Monty says, a great idea.
Yeah.
Arcsign says, I'd like an elastic strap to attach the universal lens cap to the camera body to send the same obstructiveness as a hard lens cap. I've never been a big fan of anything that hangs off my lens. I've seen lens caps that attach to the camera lens, and so when you take the lens cap off, it sort of hangs and dangles here. I'm not a big fan of those. I don't like that they might catch. And same with an elastic strap or anything else along those lines. I did see a really neat camera strap one day that had another piece where the lens cap slid into it.
I like
so you have
that.
this camera holder strap on your chest. You pop the lens cap off. This slid in there, and so you could always find it. The problem was it didn't. The one I saw, the one I used, didn't stay in there very well. So it wasn't as
Well, these you could
a good
squish
solution.
up. You could squish in there.
Yeah, this is a pretty good solution. I just want to check to make sure I'm getting I'm telling you guys the pricing information right. Again, KUVRD camera.com. The $30 a piece. You can get them. I think if you order 2 or 3, you get them at a discount. But they're expensive-ish now. But for something that protects your camera that well, I think it's worth it. So
I think they're a great gift. And then what did
That's
we
a great
do,
gift,
Mr. King?
right,
It's
yeah.
a great gift. But then what did we do, Mr. King? Because they come in these little containers, these really cool little plastic containers.
did you bring one?
I forgot to bring one.
Go get one. Darn it! I knew there was. I've been sitting here for the whole show, trying to think. There's something I'm supposed to get. There's something I'm supposed to bring. There's something I'm supposed to show to the audience. I couldn't remember what the hell it was. One of the things that I liked about this was that even with the packaging was really.
Because they look so pretty,
Okay,
red and green.
The packaging was really kind of cool, and they went well and above what they needed to do packaging wise. So they come in these nice little plastic containers. I don't want to throw them away
No, they were lovely.
because they were so nice. So what we've used, because I'm now living in the boondocks with a bunch of hippies,
Oh, my lordy.
we have to recycle everything. We have to compost. I'm composting. I'm literally taking garbage and saving it for later. And then that garbage will then be put on our food. Anyway, So Melissa has got me into recycling and composting, again, against my frickin' will. So rather than throw these things into the trash or throw them into recycling, we use them for spices. So there's the paprika container. There's the bay leaf container. They're perfectly
Doesn't that look nice?
They're perfectly good plastic.
Paprika, bay leaves.
This is her idea.
My idea.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. I was like looking at these like, we should keep these because they're really,
Anybody
really nice.
can use it. That's fine if you buy the product. Put your spices
it comes in
in.
these
Or
cool
whatever.
things and put pennies in it, whatever you want to put in it.
There's no such thing as pennies anymore.
No kidding. I thought it was a brilliant idea. You have many of those. Clearly a homebrew idea seems to work well. Monty says, I saw a pro shooter who had some industrial Velcro on his lens caps and camera strap. He stuck his lens caps to a strap across his chest. Yeah, there are options. That's
Depends
for sure.
though if you're trying to shoot wildlife or something, you don't want to go.
Right.
Everything's gonna run away.
Oh, there goes that deer.